Hi, I'm Ashley from HomeLikeYouMeanIt.com. I'm a true color expert and decorator, and today we're going to talk about farmhouse paint colors. So these soft, sultry colors that would work well for that farmhouse vibe or more of that modern farmhouse vibe, and some of these colors even work well for cottage style and country style. So if you're looking for a soft, workable, livable farmhouse color, this is for you. Okay, so the first color on my list is my favorite off-white of all time. This is Benjamin Moore White Dove. We have used this in several bathrooms in our home. It is the trim color throughout our home. It is an off-white paint color, and you can see I've got it next to this pure white poster board, so there is a significant difference. It doesn't have too much yellow, which a lot of off-whites have a lot of yellow, a little bit more yellow than I'd like. White Dove has just a hint of yellow, and it's got more of that grayy undertone, so it works really, really well in both applications, more of a country cottage style and more of a modern farmhouse style. Now, if you like the idea of White Dove, but you want something a little bit cleaner, a little bit more crisp, but still in that off-white category, Simply White is perfect. It works so well in so many applications. It pairs beautifully with paler walls, which sometimes White Dove doesn't look perfect with those. Simply White is the perfect solution for an off-white that's not too stark, but not too yellow at the same time. Now, if you want off-white and you really want to lean into it, you want that creamy look, but you don't want a cream, you still want to stay in the off-white territory. Sherwin-Williams Alabaster is about as good as it gets. So this is a really pretty soft white, significant creamy yellow undertone to this. So you really got to commit to that undertone. It doesn't work in all applications. It doesn't work with all wall colors, but it's a really pretty wall color, especially if you're going with that farmhouse type look. The next on my list is Benjamin Moore Balboa Mist. This is a grayish, so it's a blend of gray and beige, but it's also a gray that has a purple undertone. So you need to be aware of that when you're sampling Balboa Mist. A lot of people will contact me and say, I put this on my walls and it looks a little purple. Well, that's because grays do either have a green, a blue, or a purple undertone. So that's something to be mindful of. It works beautifully in rooms that have fabrics or finishes that have more of that purple undertone. So there's a lot of couches that have purple undertones, neutral couches that have purple undertones, and then I've seen it work beautifully in little girls' rooms or babies' rooms. This next color needs no introduction. It is Sherwin-Williams, one of their best-selling colors of all times. This is Agreeable Gray. It's a gray with a green undertone, and again, like I said, grays have green, blue, or purple, so there is no gray without an undertone. So this is a green undertone. It's a pretty light color. I will say green is the easiest, most neutral undertone to work with. But this is a great, open concept color. It works great in smaller spaces. On cabinetry, it's beautiful. But this is Sherwin-Williams Agreeable Gray. Okay, next up we have Sherwin-Williams Swiss Coffee. Now, a lot of people think that this is an off-white paint color, but hear me out. It's actually a grayish with a green undertone. When you pair it next to a true off-white, like Simply White, you can see that they're nowhere in the same category. Now, I will say when you pair it next to a much creamier white, like Alabaster, they do start to look a little bit more closely related. However, Swiss Coffee still has significant more pigment. If you want that really pretty creamy wall, but you don't want it to look, too boring or too drab, Swiss Coffee is absolutely beautiful. Benjamin Moore Wickham Gray. I am always trying to insert this color into people's homes when I go in to do color consults. I love this color. It's a neutral, it's a gray, but it's got a pretty blue and green undertone. So I would call it a blue-green gray. It is just a lot of blue-green or a lot of blue-gray colors seem a little bit too cold on walls, especially for the farmhouse movement. This is that pretty neutral that's got the blue and the green and the gray. So the green works to significantly warm up the blue and the gray, making it just a really warm color, but still works for if you have fabric or fixed elements that kind of are on the cooler side, but you don't want too cool of a wall color. This is your solution. This is Benjamin Moore Wickham Gray. Okay, now we're gonna move into more pigmented colors, not neutrals. This is Benjamin Moore Quiet Moments, another color that I love. This is a blue-green, but it does have a subtle gray, which kind of calms it down. I will compare it just for fun really quickly to Wickham Gray, which is a neutral. So you can see this is significantly more pigmented, but if you want something that looks like a neutral, but it's got a little bit more pigmentation, and you want that blue-green, Quiet Moments is one to sample. So green is really popular right now. I think it's a timeless color when done correctly. Next on my list is Benjamin Moore Saybrook Sage. It is the best sage on the market as far as I'm concerned. It's not too silvery, it's not too green, it's just perfect. It's right in the middle. It's got just that hint of that silvery sage. Such a calming color. This is a beautiful color on cabinetry, in living rooms, honestly, foyers, offices. A lot of applications for this. So this is Benjamin Moore Saybrook Sage. Now, if you like the idea of green, of sage, but you want something a little bit more green, a little bit less sage, I understand that Sherwin Williams Cascade Green. Just a really pretty green. Doesn't really have that silvery sage undertone like Saybrook Sage, but still a really muted color. Works great for farmhouse palettes. Okay, now let's look at some blues. So first on the list, I have Benjamin Moore Breezy. Really pretty blue-green. The green is very, very subtle. It just works to give that blue a little bit of personality. This is just beautiful. I love this. This works for so many applications. Works for farmhouse, traditional style, transitional. This is just a really pretty, soft, subtle blue. Okay, the last color on my list is Benjamin Moore Newburg Green. I love this color. It's a personal favorite of mine. I've used it in my home. It's a blue-green. It's a deep, deep blue-green. So it's got some personality. It looks beautiful on walls. You will kind of notice that green depending on the light available in your room. I will say I wouldn't use this color in a room that was maybe north-facing with just a small window. You will lose that pretty blue-green. So make sure you've got ample light when you use this color. That's all. I hope you learned something today. I hope you found a pretty color to work for your farmhouse. If you want even more farmhouse colors, I have a whole blog with even more paint colors that